A universal truth about managing your finances is that spending money is completely unavoidable, so where you direct those dollars makes a massive difference. This is incredibly relevant if you are just stepping into your career or recently landed a promotion that leaves you with extra cash at the end of the month. If you are going to open your wallet, there are 10 foundational purchases you need to prioritize above everything else. Consider these your financial prerequisites, the items that deliver the highest possible return on your investment. We are kicking things off with number 1, a high-quality chef's knife and a reliable nonstick pan. If your kitchen is practically empty, or you have survived off restaurant food for years, this is the most impactful investment you can make right now. You absolutely do not need a massive overpriced culinary set. Just one excellent knife and one versatile pan will change your life. The average person easily drops around $400 every single month on takeout in restaurants, which translates to a staggering $4,800 annually. In major cities, that monthly food budget can easily double to $800 if you are constantly ordering delivery out of sheer convenience. Before upgrading my own kitchen setup, I was practically keeping the local burrito shops in business, swiping my card for a $20 meal every single night, simply because it was easy. But spending $20 on a single bowl of food makes zero mathematical sense when you can grab the exact same fresh ingredients from the grocery store for about $5. If you pick up a professional-grade knife and a solid pan for a combined investment of roughly $200, the math heavily shifts in your favor. By cooking at home and saving $15 per meal just 4 times a week, you are keeping an extra $60 in your pocket weekly. Over a 52-week year, that seemingly small habit compounds into $3,120 of pure savings. There are countless free resources online dedicated to one-pan recipes that require zero culinary background, so you can easily recoup that $200 kitchen investment in less than a month. The second essential move you need to make is securing a reliable flat-rate cashback credit card. While you aren't physically buying a product here, establishing this financial tool is a strict prerequisite before you spend another dime. If you are going to purchase any of the items on this list, you need to ensure you are getting paid to do it. A surprising number of younger adults still rely exclusively on debit cards, and while debit is fantastic for preventing debt since you can only spend what you actually have in the bank, it comes with a major hidden cost. Every time you swipe a debit card, you are literally leaving free money on the table. Standard cashback credit cards on the market will effortlessly pay you a flat 2% back on every single transaction you make. The catch, of course, is that you must treat this card exactly like a debit card and pay the balance off completely every single month to avoid vicious interest rates. Let's break down the actual numbers on why that credit card strategy is so lucrative if you remain disciplined. A typical household easily spends around $7,000 a month on general living expenses, which balloons to $84,000 over the course of a year. Capturing a simple 2% cash back on that standard spending funnels an extra $1,680 directly back into your bank account annually for doing absolutely nothing different. Beyond the basic tiers, premium travel cards offer even more aggressive rewards if you know how to leverage them. By routing my everyday expenses through a premium travel card this past year, I accumulated over 100,000 points. When you factor in the redemption multipliers, that translates to anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 in pure value. Premium cards do come with annual fees and complex rules, so if you prefer simplicity, just lock in a standard 2% back card and watch the passive returns pile up. Moving on to number 3, we have a financial powerhouse that you need to prioritize immediately: funding your Roth IRA every single year. You cannot physically hold this purchase in your hands, but if you are navigating your 20s, 30s, or even 40s without one, establishing this account should jump to the very top of your to-do list. A Roth IRA is an individual retirement vehicle designed so you deposit money that has already been taxed, allowing all future growth to compound completely tax-free. When it is finally time to withdraw those funds in retirement, the IRS cannot touch a single cent of your massive accumulated gains. Understanding the sheer power of tax-free compound interest in the stock market over a 30 to 40-year timeline is what separates the wealthy from the middle class. By letting your capital ride the natural waves of the market, you are essentially shielding decades of immense financial growth from future tax liabilities, which is arguably the biggest legal loophole available to everyday investors. Let's look at the staggering math behind a fully funded Roth IRA. If you max out your contributions at the official $7,000 annual limit starting at age 25 and consistently invest that money into a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, the results are incredible. Assuming the historical 8% average annual market return, by the time you reach age 65, that account would swell to approximately $1.8 million, entirely tax-free. One of the most misunderstood benefits of this account is the flexibility. You can legally withdraw your original contributions at any time without facing penalties, which removes the fear that your cash is permanently trapped. I strongly recommend opening an account through established brokerages like Vanguard or Fidelity today, because delaying this step by just a few years can literally cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars in missed compound growth. Number 4 on our priority list pivots to the automotive market. You need to hunt down a highly reliable used car. It is incredibly common for young professionals to secure their first real paycheck and immediately run to a dealership to finance a flashy, brand new vehicle. However, the current automotive landscape is brutal, with the average new car rolling off the lot at an MSRP of around $50,000 and trapping buyers into staggering monthly payments. Instead of absorbing that initial depreciation cliff, you can look for a lightly used 3 to 5-year-old vehicle from historically bulletproof brands like Toyota or Honda for roughly $20,000. These cars have already taken the most severe plunge in value, which happens during those first few years, yet they still retain decades of reliable performance. A well-maintained Civic or Camry can easily push past 200,000 miles without requiring anything more than routine oil changes and basic maintenance. The financial disparity between these two car choices is absolutely mind-blowing when you calculate the interest. If you finance that $50,000 new car over 60 months at an 8% interest rate, you are staring down a monthly payment of over $1,000, ultimately bleeding an extra $10,800 just in interest over the life of the loan. Conversely, financing a $20,000 used car under the exact same terms drops your payment to a manageable $405 a month, shrinking your total interest to just $4,300. That is a massive preservation of your hard-earned wealth. Furthermore, modern insurance premiums heavily penalize new car owners, often costing an additional $2,400 every single year just for coverage. Your goal isn't to buy a broken-down clunker. It is to secure dependable transportation that safely gets you to your destination without secretly destroying your monthly cash flow. Coming in at number 5 is a truly life-changing investment, a premium high-quality mattress. This specific upgrade dramatically shifts your daily baseline because human beings spend a massive portion of their existence entirely asleep. Think about the jarring reality of human longevity. If you live to see your 80th birthday, you will have spent nearly 25 of those years completely unconscious. When you strip away those sleeping years and the early blur of childhood, you are actively experiencing a surprisingly brief window of actual life. If you are going to dedicate over 2 decades of your limited time on Earth to lying in a bed, you absolutely must ensure the surface you are resting on is engineered for peak recovery. During my early adult years, I fell victim to the trap of buying the absolute cheapest mattress available online. I would unbox these discount slabs, sleep terribly, and drag myself through the next day with chronic lower back pain and zero energy. The logistical nightmare of trying to return a cheap, uncomfortable bed in a box is incredibly frustrating, as companies often just send a truck to haul it straight to a landfill. Sick of the physical pain and the environmental waste, I finally walked into a proper showroom, tested different materials, and invested in a genuinely supportive mattress. You truly do not understand how detrimental poor sleep is until you experience a full night of deep, uninterrupted rest on a high-end bed. The immediate return on this investment is waking up with explosive energy, enhanced creativity, and zero joint pain. People will eagerly drop $1,200 on the newest smartphone without hesitation, yet they agonizingly debate spending that same amount on a product that physically repairs their body every single night. Before we move on to the next major upgrade, I have a quick question for you. What is the single best purchase you have made this year that actually saved you money or improved your life? Let me know down in the comments, and if you are enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Shifting our focus to the 6th priority, we need to talk about upgrading your workspace, which is absolutely vital if you earn your living behind a screen. One of the greatest professional advantages you can give yourself is simply adding a second monitor to your setup. You aren't just buying hardware, you are drastically expanding your digital workspace, allowing you to process information and complete tasks with far greater efficiency. If a proper workstation boosts your daily output by even 5 to 10%, that slight edge will compound massively over your career, leading to better opportunities and higher income. Plus, you will finally stop ending every single workday with a throbbing headache and a stiff neck from aggressively hunching over a tiny 14-inch laptop. Taking that workspace a step further, securing a solid standing desk alongside a high-end ergonomic chair is absolutely essential. Major healthcare systems, like the Cleveland Clinic, have pointed out that standing periodically while working can drastically elevate your mood, boost your blood flow, and virtually eliminate chronic spine issues. Think about it logically. If you are locked into a single position for up to 8 hours every day, you owe it to your body to provide it with the ultimate physical support. While it is tough to calculate an exact return on investment for daily comfort, individuals who proactively build a healthy working environment almost inevitably achieve higher lifetime earnings than those who stubbornly refuse to spend money on their posture. Moving right along to the seventh item, we arrive at the concept of directly funding your own intellectual growth. I am not suggesting you take out massive loans to return to a university, but rather that you strategically purchase resources to rapidly expand your marketable skills. Investing in your own capabilities is one of the rare moves that offers genuinely limitless returns, while cutting back on takeout or buying a sensible vehicle will absolutely keep cash in your pocket. Those savings hit a strict mathematical ceiling. Conversely, acquiring a lucrative new skill permanently raises the ceiling on your earning potential, creating a lifelong upward trajectory that easily eclipses any frugal money-saving hack. Let's anchor this with a realistic scenario. Suppose you are currently earning $60,000 a year at your standard day job. You make the conscious choice to invest $600 and a few months of your evenings into a highly respected certification for data science or project management. If that specific credential allows you to pivot into a new position paying $80,000, you have just generated an unbelievable return on a simple $600 purchase. What is even better is that this new $80,000 salary becomes your starting point for all future negotiations. The truth is, your active learning phase should not end when you get handed a diploma. By intentionally dedicating $600 every year to sharpen your mind, you will effortlessly leave stagnant competitors in the dust. That leads us perfectly into the eighth absolute necessity. You must secure a copy of a top-tier personal finance book. Data consistently shows that the average person hemorrhages thousands of dollars every single year, purely due to financial blind spots, whether that means drowning in high-interest consumer debt, paying absurd hidden fees, or entirely missing out on compound growth. Because the traditional education system largely ignores practical money management, the vast majority of us simply mirror the financial behaviors of our parents. If the people who raised you struggled with severe debt or lacked basic investment knowledge, there is a massive chance you have subconsciously adopted those exact same toxic habits. The absolute smartest way to shatter that generational curse is to spend $25 on a physical book that you can mark up, carry in your bag, and revisit whenever you feel lost. If absorbing just one fundamental concept from that text stops you from making a catastrophic money mistake, that $25 investment has essentially paid out a historic dividend. Sliding into the ninth spot, we have a mandate for long-term survival. You must aggressively fund your proactive healthcare. Waiting until a minor issue erupts into a full-blown medical crisis will absolutely decimate your bank accounts. Take simple skincare, for example. Refusing to buy a decent bottle of daily sunscreen might eventually lead to a devastating medical diagnosis. And those intense oncology treatments will cost infinitely more than some preventative lotion. A sudden, unexpected trip to the emergency room in the US can effortlessly slap you with a staggering $20,000 medical bill. Because the modern healthcare infrastructure is built to react to sickness rather than preserve wellness, you have to ruthlessly spend on your own prevention. You need to deliberately allocate funds for preventative routines like thorough yearly checkups, consistent dental cleanings, and targeted physical therapy to fix awkward movement patterns before they turn into permanent damage. But beyond the physical body, you have to stop viewing mental health treatment as some sort of optional luxury. The hidden financial drain of ignoring your psychological well being will slowly poison your relationships, sabotage your career growth, and lead to disastrous money choices. If you find yourself rage trading the stock market or panic selling your portfolio because you cannot handle the emotional pressure, those unresolved mental blocks are literally setting your net worth on fire. Professional therapy is not a self indulgence, it is a vital defensive strategy for your wealth. Finally, locking in our 10th prerequisite, you absolutely must invest in a phenomenal, supportive pair of everyday sneakers. At this point, the underlying philosophy of this entire list should be glaringly obvious. If your body physically interacts with something for hours on end, you cannot afford to go cheap. Far too many people view shoes as a purely fashion-based purchase, happily swiping their card for a $50 pair of fast fashion sneakers that offer zero structural support and fall apart in 6 months. Those poorly made shoes will quietly destroy your foot arches, send shooting pain through your knees, and throw your entire posture out of whack, trapping you in a miserable cycle of replacing cheap footwear multiple times a year. Please do your future self a massive favor and commit $120 to $160 toward premium, anatomically designed footwear from proven brands like Asics, On Running, or New Balance. You need to back companies that actively fund material science and ergonomic research so that your purchase actually goes the distance. This becomes incredibly critical if your daily grind involves any kind of manual labor or constant standing. When your feet are deeply supported, your leg fatigue vanishes, your back aligns perfectly, and your entire physical machine just operates on a vastly superior level. Those are the 10 non-negotiable items you need to prioritize to build a rock-solid foundation. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, be sure to drop your answer in the comments regarding the best money-saving purchase you made this year. See you in the next video, and remember, stay smart with your money. Take care.